What I've encountered with some folks in our peer group is that sometimes there's what has been shared with me is that there's a little bit of a hesitancy to directly say like there is a problem here, and fear sharing and getting too wrapped up in the story. Do you have a way or insights on how to help somebody sort of dissociate from like the story and emotions around why something's not working, and to help them get to just like sharing that there is a problem, but without the judgment and without sort of the baggage that can come with saying, hey, this isn't working for me? Does that
Yes.
make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we could spend a long time on that particular one, because there's really a big art to being able to share that sort of a thing. Um, to 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 make it to kind of do it somewhat quickly, you really need to show up with, this is my experience, and like this is what I'm seeing. Like, you don't make it about someone else. It is something which is coming up for you, and it's important for you to state, how did you help create this situation, right? Like, if you can name that and not just blame other people for what the situation is, it enables more freedom in terms of how do people engage with it and move it forward. Because if you just show up and say, this is terrible, like you did this, like, and like this is destroying my week, and like there's nothing to be done about it, and I hate you, like it's not going to be constructive. But if you say, look, I come to this meeting every week, I notice that it's really unstructured. I'm finding that I leave this meeting really low energy. And what I've noticed is that I haven't proposed an agenda. I've noticed I haven't brought this up to the group, and I just haven't really engaged a discussion for it. So I've actually helped create the situation, and I want to be able to change the situation. That enables that degree of like, look, you're not just blaming someone else. You're saying, I helped author some of this. What, and I'm interested in changing this. And that's a really powerful move. That's a really powerful motion to do, that lets people let you take some responsibility for what this situation, what the state currently is.
Taking responsibility for something like that. I feel there's so much more freedom and space just in you sharing that framework. I'm like, oh my gosh, we could tackle any problem that way. Like that's great.
Well, it certainly disarms the problem, right? It makes it name that thing. It doesn't make it a fight between you and me, Patrick. It makes it about the topic or the issue that came up.
And that's something really learnable. People can get used to it. It's a framework, but I think that's something people can leverage in many different scenarios. That's really actionable.
Yeah, it's a really important one, right? Like, avoiding those types of conversations don't really serve people well. So it's definitely an art in terms of building that muscle, and it's really important, I think, as a leader to be able to have those conversations.